Hi everybody, here is a quick video to help you getting started with the ComfyUI-Blender nodes. First, you should have a recent version of ComfyUI. In my case, I've just installed the latest version 0359. I've also installed the ComfyUI Manager, and if you go to Custom Nodes Manager, then you can search for ComfyUI-Blender. So it's the ComfyUI-Blender node. You can open that repository on a side tab. We're going to need it for downloading the Blender add-on, and click on Install. Latest version. Let's wait for the cloning to finish. It should take only a few seconds. There we go. And let's restart ComfyUI. While ComfyUI is restarting, you can go to the ComfyUI-Blender repository on GitHub and go to the latest release to download the Blender add-on package, ComfyUI-Blender. Today it's v112. Let's click on that, and then we can start Blender to install the package. You can go to Edit, Preferences, Add-on, the small arrow in the top right corner, Install from Disk, select the ComfyUI-Blender zip package, and click Install from Disk. If you go in the add-on preferences, you have a very important parameter here, the server address. In my case, ComfyUI is running on the same machine as my Blender client, so I don't need to change that address. This is my local address. But if your ComfyUI server runs remotely somewhere else, you might want to change this to replace the URL with the server address. I'm also going to stick with the default settings for the inputs, outputs, and workflow folders, but you can change that if you'd like. If you go to the viewport and press the N key, you will see the ComfyUI tab. Right now, it's a little empty. It's also disconnected from the server. We need to create a workflow and then we will import it here. So let's go back to ComfyUI. We will create a very simple control net workflow using a stable diffusion XL model because it's much faster for this demo. So we can load the native depth control net workflow in Browse Template, Control Net, Depth Control Net. You can ignore this. And here we're going to add the custom nodes from the ComfyUI-Blender node. Those nodes are actually critical. You cannot use the add-on without them. They are used to define the inputs of the workflow that will be exposed in the Blender add-on, as well as the outputs the Blender add-on will capture and load inside Blender. So let's modify our workflow. Let's say first we want to provide a drop-down list with the list of checkpoints. So I'm going to delete this node and instead add the Blender input load checkpoint node. It's actually the same node. It's just adding a couple of extra parameters such as the order and the default value. So let's reconnect our node. The VAE goes here and the clip to the text encoders. I'm going to select our SDXL model here, and maybe we want a default value as well. I'm just going to type the same visitor 01 remnant -v 3.0. Of course, you can use any model you want. You don't have to pick the same as mine. I like to color my input nodes, so it's much easier to read when I browse my workflow. And also super important, the title of the node is used as a label for the input in the add-on panel. So we want something a little bit more user-friendly here. We're just going to call this model. Oops. Model. All right. We also want to expose our text prompt. Let's remove this and add a string node into the Blender input string multiline. There we go. Connect this to our text encoder. Sorry, to our text input. Just going to change the color and name this prompt. What else? We can remove the negative prompt. We're not going to use that. For the ControlNet model, I'm using ControlNet Union SDXL Pro Max. We want to provide control over the depth image. We will generate the depth from Blender. So I'm deleting that node and adding the load image node from the Blender input load image node. Voila. This in yellow, image, and call this image. What else? We might want control over the size, the resolution of our image. So we're gonna use the empty latent size, and we're gonna add two integer inputs. Blender input integer. We're gonna call this width. Default value 1024. And I'm just gonna update this as well to run the workflow later. And then we're going to set the camera width to true. This will display a small button next to the width input in Blender to automatically set the camera width of the scene based on the value of that input. We're going to do exactly the same thing for the height. You can just copy paste that node up, rename this height. And if we want those two inputs to be nicely displayed together in Blender, we can also add a group input, a Blender input group like this. Up. And we're going to call this resolution. Up. We want to show the title and have a compact display. Okay. What else? We might want to have control over our seed value to have like deterministic results if we fix the seed. So you can search for Blender input seed. There it is. And just connect this to the seed. I could rename this seed. And finally, we're gonna change the save image node to use the Blender output save image so that the add-on can capture the output. So if I search for save image, Blender output save image. Okay. There we go. All right, so we have our inputs and outputs. All of the input nodes provide this order widget that defines the position of the input in the Blender add-on panel. So we might want to put the seed first. We put number 1, model second, prompt in third position. Then we're going to put the resolution in fourth position, and inside that group we're going to put the width first and the height second. Finally, let's put the image in fifth position after the resolution. All right, the workflow is ready. Let's try to run it to make sure it runs smoothly. Seems it's executing okay. So you can export that workflow. Super important, you should export it as API format so that the Blender add-on can read it properly. Let's call it depth control net. We can go to Blender and then import the workflow. Download depth control net is here. Okay, workflow is imported. We still don't see the input because I'm disconnected, so we can connect to the server. And now we can see it displays our input nodes, the seed, the model, the prompt, the resolution group with the width and height, and the image. The image provides a couple of cool features. You can upload an input image, just render from the camera, render the depth map, render a line art, or explore the folder where those images are created. So let's modify our inputs. We want to do a depth control net generation. We're going to generate a treasure chest. First, we're going to keep the 1024 and 1024 width and height. I'm setting the width of the camera to 1024 and the height as well, so that we have like a nice square. I'm going to select remnant model, and here I'm going to type photograph of a treasure chest. Let's model our treasure chest. I'm gonna do that very quickly, scaling on Y by 2 to make it rectangular, then adding a cylinder. I rotate this on X by 90, scale it on Y by 2 as well to match my rectangle, and then move it a bit higher to do the top of the chest. Okay. Then we can render our depth map, and boom, we have a nice depth map captured from the camera that contains the shape of our chest. I think we have everybody. We can just run that workflow and see what kind of results we get. Actually, we can run multiple. They will be sent in the queue. So let's see. Okay, first chest. Second, not so good. Maybe we want to have something more like a game item, so we can do something on a black background. Black background. Hola. Not very good. Probably I should work on my prompt, but anyway, you get the idea. Yeah, this one looks okay. Let's say we want to project that image on the 3D mesh that we have here. You can actually do that from the couple of options you have here. Project material. So we have to select our mesh. Let me go to the viewport shading view, and then you can select your mesh and click on project material. We have two meshes actually, so we need to project on both, and there we go. This is actually just projecting the image from the camera viewpoint, so if you rotate, you will see that the back is not properly textured, of course. That's something I need to work on. But yeah, this is just a quick demo to show you how to use the add-on. Hope you enjoy, and let me know what you create with it. Thank you.